So one of the characteristics of React is that it is component based. For example, if we take this HTML page, we have the header element, the main element, and the footer element. But in React, instead of creating this complex UI, for example, if we say this is some complex page, we have header, main, footer in together in one HTML file, and this makes them not reusable, also complex to deal with, some complexity. But in React, instead of creating this complex UI in one file, what we can do is we can break down this into its own component. For example, we can have here header, main, and footer, and then compose them together later. If I were to replicate this page in React, what I can do is I can create header component, uh, main component, footer component, and then compose them together into one big container. For example, here we can have another big container, app component, and this one can now can contain all the three components. I can have here header, the main, and then the footer. We can easily see them if we check. I think I'm running it. Yeah, I can see like the header, the main, and the footer. By easily combining the small components, I was able to build. Let's say if this was some complex page, I was able to deal with each component individually and then combine them together. This component-based nature of React helps us to deal with complexity as well as reusability. For example, if I were to take another example here, I have a list of items and then I want to display all of them. What I can do is I can create one item component. Let's create one item component. And here to pass different value, I can have props, or you can select an argument. And here the argument value would be what I want to pass will be are these values here. So I have name and description. So I can have here h4 props dot item. If you were to pass item name will be here, and then item description, just put in a paragraph, props dot item dot description. Now I can easily pass this component in here. To rebuild like all this, to loop through all of them, what I can do is I can use the map function, const, let's say JSX items, and then I'm gonna loop through all of them. Map the function to create another array. I can here pass item, the function to manipulate this one. What I can do is return an item component, item. One thing to add is the key value here to differentiate one item from the other, so it can help to deal with performance. So we have to pass here item ID. This will help us to help React to deal with performance as well as to distinguish one item from the other. So, and then the other value, other props would be the item as a whole. Item. Need to import this. Now here, this one will loop through all of the items and then return another array, and then I can pass this array here, and React will deal with it. JSX items. This one will create a JSX arrays, and then I can easily pass this one easily. So if we were to add this one in our big container, this is our big container here. We can easily say items, and then let's check it out if it is working. Here, as you see, I was able to display all of the items by just using one item component and then reusing that component multiple times here. I have I looped through all of them and created another array, another JSX array containing all of these values, and as a pass this one. And this nature, like the component-based nature of React, helps us to deal with complexity and also reusability. I was able to use this component for 4 times. This is one of the core characteristics of React.